Having a dog has long been a dream of Jessica Williams. For many years, she waited to have one. But then she had to hold this dream for a few more years. Jess was completing her degree at Brown University. While she lived in a dorm that didn't allow pets, luck was on her side. She wasn't alone. In August, Jess and her boyfriend, Jared Cato, decided to pack up and move across the country to Sacramento, California. After living on the East Coast, they wanted a change of scenery and settled on the sunny West Coast. Plus, they'd be able to be closer to Jess's family who lived in Los Angeles. Jess was ready for her new life, and that included a furry addition to the household. However, it wouldn't come too easily. Jess hadn't given up on her dream of having a dog. So when she learned that her new apartment allowed pets, she was ecstatic, but Jared was a little less so. He also wanted a dog, but he wanted them to settle into their new place first. He suggested a compromise, asking Jess to wait until her birthday in November to adopt a dog. Jess agreed. But soon she found that the wait was more challenging than she had imagined. All that Jess could think about was getting a dog. She woke up and went to bed with one thought on her mind. It drove her crazy. Finally, she couldn't take it any longer. She went online and started looking at photos of shelter dogs. "I'll just browse," she said to herself. She thought this could help her get an idea of what kind of dog she wanted, but her casual browsing didn't last long. One day, she came upon a picture that changed everything. Jess came upon a picture of a dog named Benji on a website she was browsing. He appeared to be a mixed breed, and the website said he was picked up as a stray and had been at the shelter for 10 days. He had also had a bad flea allergy that made him lose most of its fur, but what caught Jess's attention was the sorrowful look on Benji's face. "I had never seen a sadder dog and knew we couldn't leave him there," she explains. She decided she wanted to adopt him. But what about her agreement with Jared? Just showed Jared the picture of Benji and told him they had to adopt him. She felt terrible about breaking her promise, but it was clear that this dog needed to be taken out of the shelter. Jared hesitated, but he eventually agreed to adopt Benji. Looking at the picture, he knew he would feel guilty if he said no. So they started making preparations for the adoption, but there was one big problem. The website listed the shelter's location in Los Angeles, which is almost 400 miles away from Sacramento. It seriously complicated things, but Jess was undeterred. They were both avid travelers and had made long drives before. Seeing how determined she was, Jared relented. And so they set off on the 6-hour drive to meet Benji, but more obstacles were waiting ahead.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
The couple finally made it to Los Angeles and found the shelter. They walked in and told the attendant that they had seen Benji on a website and wanted to adopt him. The shelter staff stared at them awkwardly for a few seconds, hesitating to respond to their inquiry. Finally, the manager came up and asked them if they were sure they meant the right dog. Jess pulled up her phone and showed them Benji's picture. Then the manager said something that took the couple by surprise. The manager told them that it wouldn't be a good idea for them to adopt Benji. He offered to show them other dogs that were also waiting to be adopted. Jess couldn't believe what she heard, but she stood her ground. Jess asked the shelter why they refused to allow her to adopt the dog. The reply she got broke her heart. They told her that it was because Benji was so aggressive. He would snarl and snap at people as they walked by, she said they told her. The shelter also told us he wasn't friendly and refused to take us into a calm waiting area to get to know him because he wouldn't be a dog that would come over to us to be cuddly. But the shelter's warnings backfired as they only strengthened Jess's resolve. "We knew that he had a high possibility of being euthanized and didn't want him to die," explained to Jess. There was no way that she and Jared would let that happen. So they made up their mind to adopt Benji. The shelter had no choice but to accept their request, so they filled out the paperwork and the couple signed. Benji was now officially part of their family, but the adventure was just starting. It was a rough 6 hours back to Sacramento with Benji in the car. Understandably, he was wary of these two humans he'd never met before who had come and taken him from the shelter. He also seemed quite confused about what was happening, given that he probably wasn't used to long car rides. And when they finally got home, things didn't get any easier. Benji kept his distance from Jess and Jared, Clearly, this poor little puppy had been hurt by humans before, and he didn't trust them anymore. But the couple knew this, and they were patient with him, giving him space and showing him that they loved him and weren't going to hurt him. A few days passed, and he slowly realized he was safe. And then something incredible happens. 3 weeks after bringing him home, Benji was a completely different dog. He loves to come up and lick our faces and play with his toys, says Jess. He is such a goofball now. He is crazy zoomies after he gets bathed. He will also start barking the second we get in the car, as if to say we have to start moving. Let's go. He loves tagging along wherever Jess and Jared go, but he's also happy cuddling with them at home. They believed in him from the moment they saw him, and from what we can see, he's been justified. I hope you like this video. Please share and subscribe to our channel with your friends and family. Also press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.